we have studied that when we are taking non-conducting bodies, that is, which are they? Mainly we have taken the insulators. For example, glass rod. Glass rod we have taken. Any other rod we do you remember? Ebonite rod, glass rod, silk, ebonite rod, and fur, woolen cloth. So when we rub the glass rod on silk, what happens? There is transfer of electrons. The transfer of electron take place. So one get the excess electron, other get the deficit of electrons. Transfers of electron take place, and we call them as charged. Glass rod get charged, silk as well get charged. So this is how non-conducting bodies, when two non-conducting bodies are rubbed together, what happens? There is a transfer of electrons. One body will have excess of electron, other body will have deficit of electrons. So for example, I have rubbed these two bodies and what happened? Electrons from this red body transferred to black body. So red body, it is having deficit of electrons, whereas this black body, it is having excess of electron. This black body will be having excess of electron, and both bodies are called as charged bodies. Now both are charged. One is in deficit, other is in excess of electrons. This is clear. So these electrons constitute the charge, because each electron is having charge of how much? Each electron carries a charge of minus 1.6 into 10 raised power minus 19 coulomb. So depending on the number of electrons, the body have some charge. Maybe it less or more depending on the number of electrons. This is clear. And we have studied as well positive charge and positive charge, negative charge, negative charge. So same charges, they attract each other or repel each other.
Same charges
Same
repel.
charges, they will repel. They will repel each other. So same charges, they repel each other, whereas unlike charges, they attract each other. So what kind of force is between the same kind of charges? There is a repulsive force. There will be repulsive force between the same kind of charges. That is, like charges repel. So between like charges, there is repulsive force. And if we have to bring them together, we have to do some work on them. So there is a repulsive force between like charges. Whereas unlike charges, there is attractive force. They attract each other. So between unlike charges, there is attractive force. They will attract each other. This we have studied. And what is the unit of charge?
Coulomb.
Coulomb. We denote it
by
coulomb,
C.
and we denote it with capital C. This is the unit of charge. This is the unit of charge. Now, this charge, it depends on the number of electrons. For example, we are having a body and electrons have been removed. Electrons have been removed from this body. So this body will be positively charged. Shekhar, please mute yourself. So this body is positively charged. And how much positive charge? It will depend on the number of electrons removed. That is, this positive charge, how much is the positive charge? The quantity of the positive charge will depend on the deficit of the electrons, number of electrons deficit in this body. This is clear. If more the number of electrons we have removed, more the positive charge this body will have. Similarly, a body we have and we have supplied electrons. We have supplied electrons to it. So this body will be negatively charged. This body will be negatively charged. And how much negative charge, what will be the quantity of negative charge, will depend on the number of excess electrons in this body. Number of excess sorry, if we have supplied more number of electrons to this body will be more negatively charged. So the charge depends on the number of electrons, deficit or excess. Charge depends on the number of electrons. So charge, we denote it with Q. It equal to number of electrons into charge on one electron. This is clear. So charge depends on number of electrons multiplied with charge on one electron. And what is the charge on one electron?
Minus
1.6 into 10 raised to power minus.
Minus
1.6 into 10
1.6
to the minus 9.
19 coulomb. This is the charge. Now, whether the charge will be positive or negative.
Negative.
1 minute. If a body is positively charged, then this charge will be positive. Body is having positive charge. When the body is having negative charge, excess of electron at time, it will be minus Na, negative charge. This is clear? So,
Yes.
for example,
Excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir, if the body is positively charged, then the charge will be plus 1.6.
yes, that will be okay. For example, we are having body and one electron we have removed. Only one electron we have removed. At that time, the body is having charge of 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. It is positive. Okay. You know, one electron we have removed. So it will be positively charged and we use plus sign. When we have supplied the electrons, for example, we have supplied one electron to the body, then that body will be having 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb and there will be negative sign. This denotes negative charge. This is clear? Okay. Now see, we have discussed that one electron minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. This much charge sorry, is carried by how many electrons? One electron. This much charge is carried by one electron. So 1 coulomb will be carried by how many electrons?
1 by
divided by
minus
Minus 1.6.
minus sign, leave it. Okay, minus 1 we can say, minus 1 coulomb. Okay, this is fine now. Will be carried by how many electrons? 1 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 electrons. It will be how much? 6.25 into 10 raised to
25
power
multiplied 10 raised to power 18.
25 electrons. So
But
this minus
in
1
book it is
coulomb.
18.
1 minute, I'll explain that as well. Okay, just pay attention once. So here we are having minus 1 coulomb charge is carried by how much electrons? 6.25 into 10 raised to 25. It means a body is having minus 1 coulomb charge. It means we have supplied electrons to it. And how many electrons we have supplied to this body? 6.25 into 10 raised to power 25 electrons we have supplied. Okay. Now, for example, body is carrying charge of 1 coulomb. It is positive charge. It means we have taken electrons out. We have taken out the electrons. And how many electrons we have taken out?
625 into 10 raised to 25 electrons.
25 electrons. This, it means we have taken out. This body is having deficit of how many electrons? 6.25 into 10 raised to power 25 electrons. Now you have understood. Minus 1 coulomb means we have supplied these many electrons to the body. 1 coulomb means the body is having deficit of electrons. By how much? These many electrons. These many electrons we have taken out. Understood now? Now it got clear what is being written in book. 1 coulomb charge means a deficit of 6.25 into 10 raised to power 18. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. It's 18. Okay, Planck constant was in my mind. 6.25 into 10 raised to power 18 electrons. Understood now? So -1 coulomb means we have supplied electrons. This is having excess of electrons. By how much? These are the excess electrons here. 6.25 into 10 raised to power 18 electrons. And here, how many electrons are deficit? These many electrons are deficit. We have removed these many electrons from this body. Then the body is said to have 1 coulomb of charge, that is positive charge. Understood this one? Okay,
Yes, sir.
there's a knot, and we have discussed that earlier as well. So see here, in 8th class, we have discussed that when we are rubbing glass on silk, what happens? The glass gets charged, but the point we are rubbing, there only the charge adjusts. Because it's an insulator, there won't be any transfer of electrons within the body. So where we are rubbing, there is a transfer of electrons at that point only. So all the charge resides at the point where we are rubbing. Okay. Whereas in conductor, what happens? If you are removing the electrons, they are continuously flowing in the body. So in conductor, there are free electrons. In conductor, there are free electrons. These are ions, positive ions. And around it, for example, electrons are there. Electrons we denote it like this. And these electrons, they are continuously moving. They are in random motion. They are continuously moving throughout the body. These electrons are free electrons. They can move. They are moving. They are colliding with the positive ions. They are colliding with each other. So this is how the electrons move within the body. Okay. Moreover, we will discuss this more in detail when we discuss the resistance. Now we discuss current. Charge we have discussed. Now current is rate of flow of charge. At what rate the charge is flowing? Current is rate of flow of charge. That is, for example, this is our cross section. This is our metal. Okay, a conductor we have taken. Now the charge is flowing. That means charge flow means electrons are moving. Flow of charge means electrons are moving. Now electrons are moving, that means charge is flowing. And the rate of flow of charge, that is called as current. So current will be charge upon time. That is how many charge are flowing, how much charge is flowing per unit second or per second. How much charge is flowing through the cross section of the conductor. Take the cross section and how much the charge is flowing through that cross section per second. That will give us the current. So current is nothing but rate of flow of charge. Current is rate of flow of charge. So current, we denote it with I. Charge we denote with Q. Time. This is the formula for current. Current equal to charge per unit time. And what will be the unit of current?
Ampere.
Ampere. 1 minute. What is the unit of charge? Coulomb. What will be the unit of time?
Second.
So current
Second.
unit is coulomb per
Ampere.
second. How much of coulomb is
Per
flowing
second.
per second? And we denote it with ampere. Other unit that we use is ampere. So 2 ampere means 2 ampere means charge of how many coulomb are flowing? Charge of 2 coulomb
per
flowing
second.
per second. 2 coulomb charge flowing per second. And smaller and bigger units you all know, like milliampere. It will be 10 raised to power minus 3 amperes. Milli, microamperes. Those all we all know. So flow of current we have discussed. Okay, flow of current, 1 minute. I equal to Q upon T. Q further we can write number of electrons into charge on 1 electron here by T. This is our current. And current is a scalar or a vector quantity?
Scalar quantity.
Why scalar? Current is having
scalar
direction,
quantity.
but current is having direction that we take the direction that in this direction it is flowing. But still, why it is scalar? Okay, see here. Okay, one thing, current direction we are taking. Okay, for example, this is our body. Electrons, they are flowing in this direction. Okay, this is our battery. Negative charge, positive charge. Okay. If electrons are flowing in this direction, negative means excess of electrons. So electrons will be flowing from this negative terminal to the positive terminal. This is the direction of flow of electron. Current direction we take opposite to the flow of electrons. This direction we take the flow of current. Okay. Yeah. And current is scalar quantity. Okay. Because, okay, for example, from this direction 1 ampere is flowing, and other circuit 2 ampere is flowing, and at point they meet and they flow. So what will be the resultant? 3 amperes. They follow simple arithmetic additions. They do not follow the vectors. Current is scalar, potential difference is scalar. Everything those we will be discussing are scalar here. Okay. So in conductors, in metals, we have scalar quantity. Current is scalar quantity that we discussed. Okay, we have electrons in conductors, but if we are taking electrolyte, in electrolyte we have positive ions and negative ions, and both moves. In conductors, we have discussed only the flow of electrons. Positive ions, they are fixed. In electrolyte, we have positive ions and negative ions. So in electrolyte, the flow of current is constituted of positive ions and negative ions as well. Flow of negative ions as well, positive ions. So positive ions moves, negative ions as well moves. So for example, an electrolyte, it is having N1 positive ions and N2 negative ions. So what will be the charge? So charge for this one will be N1Q. Charge N1Q1, N2 Q2. 1 minute. E is there. E. N1 E. It will be minus N2 E. They have used Q1 and Q2. Each of charge. Okay. So for example, positive they are having Q1 charge, and each negative they are having Q2 charge. Okay. Now the total charge will be sum of these two. So positive, if they are flowing in this direction, negative ions they will flow in the opposite direction. So if we add them, it will be N1Q1 minus N2Q2. So it will become plus sign. So total charge is N1Q1 plus N2Q2. Now current will be divided by
Sir, please
T.
can you explain this N1 Q1 that equation again?
Okay. See here, for example, we are having the electrolyte. So electrolyte, it is having N1 positive charge, that is positive ion charge, number of Okay, 1 minute. These are positive ions in the electrolyte. These are negative ions. Their number is N1. Positive ions number is N1. Negative ions number is N2. Okay. And when we apply we are applying 2 rods here. Okay. And current flow. That flow is because of the flow of these positive ions and negative ions. The number we have written, charge on positive ions, that is Q1. Charge on negative ions, consider it as Q2. This is fine. Charge on 1 positive ion, Q1. Charge on 1 negative ion, Q2. Now, For example, in this electrolyte, we have placed two rods. It is connected to the positive terminal, it is connected to the negative terminal. So positive ions this is electrolyte, okay, and outside we are connected to a battery, positive, negative, okay. So current will flow in this direction. Positive ions, they will flow in this direction, whereas negative ions, they will flow in this direction. Overall, we are having this direction as the flow of current, okay. So in this direction is current flowing. So what will be the total charge? Positive ions N1 Q1, N1 Q1, okay. Now negative ions, they are in opposite direction. So minus. Now N2 is the number of negative ions, and negative ions charge is minus Q2. Okay, so it will be N1 Q1 plus N2 Q2. Okay, so this is the total charge. And now how to take the current? Divided by time taken for the flow T. So this will be our total current flowing. So in electrolyte, we'll have the positive ions as well as negative ions. And mainly, for example, see here, Q1 equal to Q2, then it will become N1 plus N2 into Q divided by T. When the charge on positive ion, negative ion is same. Understood this one now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So charge we have discussed, current we have discussed. Now we have to discuss the potential and potential difference. Okay. So first we'll be discussing potential. Okay. So here in electricity, we take, for example, we are taking one charge. Any test charge Q we have taken. This is our test charge. Some charge is there, and at this point we have to bring this charge from infinity to this point. From infinity we have to bring this point to this point P. Okay, and and we'll be calculate. Okay, take it as A. At this point A, we have to find the potential. So how to calculate the potential at this point? So how to find the potential? So we are bringing some charge from infinity to this point. So we have to do some work on this charge. Work will be done on this charge. So for example, we are doing work W on this charge from in bringing it from infinity to this point. We have done some work, and that work be W. Then the potential at this point is said to be W divided by Q. This will be our potential. Or we can say, if we are taking unit charge, that is 1 coulomb charge. So amount of work done on unit charge in bringing it from infinity to a particular point, to that point. Then the potential at that point is equal to the amount of work done. So potential at that point is the amount of work done on unit charge in bringing it from infinity to that point. Okay, listen again. Potential at a point is the amount of work done on unit charge in bringing it from infinity to that point. So how much work we have done on a unit charge, that is 1 coulomb of charge, in bringing it from infinity to that point. Then the potential at that point will be equal to amount of work done on that unit charge. That is the potential. Or in simple terms, we can say a unit charge we are bringing from zero potential to that point. So work done in bringing a point charge from zero potential to that point. So amount of work done will be equal to potential at that point. So you can see the definition of potential at a point is defined as the amount of work done per unit charge. Amount of work done per unit charge in bringing a positive test charge from infinity to that point. This is clear potential definition.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, when we will get our roll number?
Roll number. Okay. You will get it soon. Some days you have to wait. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me. Sir, we have to make a physics notebook or not?
Physics notebook. You have to make the physics notebook. You will be doing the numericals in notebook. And some questions, if possible, will go. Yes.
Inside the numericals we have to do in the notebook.
Inside questions. Numericals.
Sir, by our own we can do. In your opportunity, we have to do that numericals only.
Numericals you have to do. Numericals you'll be doing in notebook. All the numericals you have to do in notebook.
Sir,
Okay,
first
sir.
write current electricity only now.
We are starting with current electricity. After this, we will go with calorimetry maybe. And then the first chapter. So you have got the syllabus. According to syllabus, will follow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So potential is clear. Potential will be denoted
Excuse
with.
me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is the meaning of zero potential?
Zero potential. Okay, at infinity, we consider that point which is having zero potential. Okay, that is
No
also
work done.
no work done. No, it's not like that. Okay. So, for example, okay, I tell you with the ground reference. At the ground, for example, height we take. Okay, in that case, you can understand height. What is the potential energy of any body with respect to ground we used to take? mgh. This is the potential energy. So as you are bringing a body from some height to the ground, at ground we consider the body is having zero potential. So this is our reference. Ground is the reference here. At ground we consider as zero potential. Similarly, a body like any charge which is having no other charge in its vicinity. And at infinity, we consider that as 0 point. For example, see here. For example, at this point, some charge is there. So in net vicinity, this charge will be applying some force. In this vicinity, the charge is applying force. But as you are moving away from this charge, its force decreases. Its force decreases. So at infinity, we consider from this point, at infinity, we consider that point as at zero potential. There is no impact of force of this charge. So as we are bringing this charge from infinity, some positive charge we have taken here. So it is having no impact. There is no impact of this charge over here. As you're bringing it from here to this point, we are doing some work.
Sir,
Okay,
understood.
moreover, I explain it again. I'll try to move over it. Next lecture, I'll explain it more over that. Okay, so it is denoted with symbol V and it's a scalar quantity. So V equal to work done per unit charge, or work done will be equal to how much? V into Q. If we have to bring more charges there, so amount of work done will increase. Like one charge we have brought, now another charge we have from infinity we are bringing to that point. Now more work done will be done. So work done equal to potential at that point multiplied with the charge. Okay, unit of potential, electric potential, it will be what? unit of potential, W upon Q. Work done unit is joule, and Q per coulomb, joule per coulomb, or we simply use volt. Volt. Okay. And one more thing I have forgot to explain, that is to measure the current. We use which instrument?
Voltometer.
Current we are measuring.
Voltometer.
Ammeter.
Ammeter. Ammeter. See here, current we are measuring in ampere. So, ammeter. And ammeter is connected in series or parallel. For example, this is our circuit.
Series.
Resistance, positive, negative. So, current is, ammeter is connected in series, plus, minus, ammeter. So, plus point, that is plus terminal of the positive terminal of the ammeter is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Always remember positive terminal, negative to negative terminal. Okay, ammeter is connected in series, and ammeter must have high resistance or low resistance.
Low resistance.
Low resistance, so that it should not offer any resistance to the flow of current. It should not consume the current. Okay, and voltage, that is potential difference, we measure using voltmeter. Voltmeter, and voltmeter is connected in parallel or series.
Parallel.
It is connected in parallel. For example, across this load we have to measure. So we connect voltmeter. So positive terminal here, negative terminal. And voltmeter must have high resistance or low resistance? High resistance. So that it should not, current should not flow from this. Very minimum, very small current should pass from the voltmeter so that it can only measure that much current only. Rest of the current must pass through the load. So that work is done on the load. Okay. So next time we will discuss the potential difference. Okay, potential difference, unit of potential difference. Then we will start resistance. So most of the chapter is dedicated to resistance and conductivity, conductance. Okay, we will end it here. Please do revise whatever we studied. If you got any doubt, you can ask in next lecture. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.